Welcome everyone to Apple Insider. It is Andrew here. I am in my Ohio State garb as Big Ten football season kicks off, but aside from football season, it is also iPhone season. We have here our iPhone 11 Pro, and we're gonna straight up compare it to the iPhone 12 Pro and touch on every feature, every single thing that is different between these two devices. So let's go ahead and dive into this whole thing with every change from the iPhone 11 Pro to the iPhone 12 Pro. So the first thing that we really need to talk about is the design of the new iPhone 12 line. Apple's overarching design has not changed all that much. An iPhone still looks like an iPhone, but Apple has made some good changes, regressed a little bit in how they've designed the new phones. Obviously the new ones come with these sleek, flat sides. They still maintain that stainless steel body, but they still have the glass backs. The front now has a ceramic shield, so it's a little more scratch resistant and up to 4 times as drop proof according to Apple on the iPhone 12 Pros. But otherwise these look very similar. They come in all new colors. Here we're looking at graphite of the iPhone 12 Pro versus just the space gray on the iPhone 11 Pro. They don't look all that different. You can kind of see some of the difference there in these close-up shots. The graphite is just a little lighter in its appearance. We saw that when we were looking at the Apple Watches, the graphite Apple Watch, obviously just a little bit lighter, kind of a gunmetal gray versus an actual space gray. So some differences in the stainless steel colors there. We also have, of course, the blue version. Pacific Blue is a new color for the iPhone 12 Pro. So we have graphite, we have Pacific Blue, we also have silver and gold. Both of those look a little bit different. The silver version is lighter than the previous white version or previous silver version that Apple had. And the gold has been updated using a new process on the outside, which actually makes it a little bit more oleophobic and does not show fingerprints as much on that stainless steel rim. If you look at the faces of the new phones, you're gonna see that the iPhone 12 Pro is just a little bit larger. It just eking out the previous generation. It actually has a slightly larger display as well as a higher pixel density, going from 458 to 460 ppi. It was 2436 by 1125, and now it is 2532 by 1170. So there's a slightly higher pixel density and slightly larger screen on the new iPhone 12 Pro. Otherwise, still that kind of liquid retina XDR display, still has the curved corners, it still has the same 800 nits of average brightness and peak brightness of 1200 for HDR content. Still just an absolutely gorgeous display. Going back to durability for just a moment, the iPhone 12 Pro, it is still rated IP68, the same certification that the iPhone 11 Pro had, but now it can be submerged for up to 6 meters for up to 30 minutes, whereas the iPhone 11 Pro is limited to 4 meters for up to 30 minutes. So it is a bit more water resistant than the prior gen. If we look at our Geekbench scores, we do see an increase in the scores on the iPhone 12 Pro. We're going from the A13 Bionic processor to the A14 Bionic processor. Our single scores are going from a 1334 to that 1601 in our initial test here. And our multi-core is going from 3543 to 3850. Now, I will say that I'm actually running iOS 14.2 on my iPhone 11 Pro here, which is a beta. So theoretically, this performance should be a little higher. So if anything, these numbers are a little bit lower. And while we're not seeing a huge jump in that multi-core test, we are seeing a decent gain in that single core score. And for a lot of people, your daily task, opening apps, surfing browsers, emails, everything, it's all single core tasks. So it's really the photo editing, video editing, stuff like that that's a little bit more high intensity for the processor that's going to tap into that multi-core score. So I think that increase in single core score is definitely going to be a benefit and get these phones continuing to work and just being a complete daily driver for many years to come. I really want to talk about the cameras, but before we talk about the cameras, let's talk a few other things about these guys. Of course, the new iPhone 12 Pro supports 5G, both that sub-6 gigahertz network as well as the millimeter wave spectrum. So 5G support on the iPhone 12 Pros, limited to LTE, gigabit LTE speeds on the iPhone 11 Pros. Piggybacking on 5G, when you are on 5G, you can now get a FaceTime call in HD. So previously, FaceTime was limited. You could only do an HD FaceTime call in 1080 if you were on Wi-Fi. So now you can do that on the 12 Pros if you are on a 5G network. Other changes on the iPhone 12 Pro, there's a higher base storage going from 64 gigs started out in the 11 Pros, now it's 128 gigs as the base storage. We are also getting slightly decreased battery life. It's really not that much different, but it's a little bit lower, and you're gonna see a bigger hit if you're using 5G. So just something to keep in mind. Fortunately, Apple kind of handles a lot of that in the background for you, but 5G can take a hit on your battery life here with the newer phones. One of my favorite new features coming to the iPhone 12 is going to be MagSafe. So MagSafe is a new connection system for the back of your phone, and it allows you to connect a bunch of different accessories. So there are wallets, cases, folios, mounts, docks, all sorts of different fun stuff that you can do using MagSafe. And it's literally a magnet attached to the back of your phone. And it also allows for up to 15 watts of wireless power when using MagSafe. So previous gen, it can still kind of use MagSafe. It actually does hold onto the phone, but it'll charge at much lower speeds. Not even the maximum 7.5 watts of Qi wireless power. It looks like it's actually charging even slower. But on the new iPhone 12 Pros, this guy sticks on strongly using his whole array of magnets. I mean, this is on there pretty well. I wouldn't like go fishing with this or swing it around really, but it holds on there very well. So MagSafe is a very cool new accessory feature. Tons of accessories, pop sockets, and just tons of stuff to do with that magnet, as well as the 15 watts of wireless power, the ability to hold it when using like a MagSafe charger such as this. Just a lot of cool stuff coming thanks to that MagSafe connectivity. You likely already knew this, but the iPhone 12 Pros, they do not ship with headphones or power adapters, so no power adapters there. If you guys have seen the box, you can see our boxes here. They're tiny. There's nothing here, so clearly no power adapters included in these. You're gonna have to supply your own, especially if you want those faster charging speeds. Finally, let's talk about those cameras. This is probably the most exciting part for me. The iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is currently not out yet, that has even more new capabilities for the camera system. So right now we're talking the 12 Pro versus the 11 Pro. The cameras are largely all the same as far as resolution, still 3 12 megapixel cameras on the back. Of course, we have the new LiDAR scanner there, which is very nice. It allows for faster, low light photographs, allows for new augmented reality capabilities, including the ability to quickly measure someone just by pointing your phone at them, and it allows for a really amazing new feature called night mode portraits. You just have to see this for yourself to see how incredible this looks. So we went outside and I took a couple of shots in low light, like literally pitch black, low light. And this is what it looked like for my iPhone 11 Pro. This is my iPhone 11 Pro photo. And here's what it looked like for the iPhone 12 Pro. A completely different shot. It is honestly incredible. The fact that I took this of a dog in almost pitch black lighting and was able to do so is amazing. So new night mode portraits for the iPhone 12 Pro. It's incredible and is aided in large part by that new LiDAR scanner. The wide-angle lens also has a wider, faster aperture, going from an f1.8 to an f1.6, so it's a little bit faster, gets a little bit more light in there, which is gonna be very handy. Again, aids a lot of these photos that we're seeing. We also have new abilities, including support for Apple ProRAW. ProRAW is allowing you to get all the benefits of Apple's computational photography features, such as Deep Fusion or Smart HDR3 on the new phones. So you're able to get the benefits of those, as well as having support for RAW and all the extra detail you're able to collect. So some cool stuff there. You can now record in Dolby Vision HDR video on the iPhone 12 Pro. You can edit it and share it as well, so it's a completely Dolby Vision HDR thing with the iPhone 12 Pro. We have night mode time lapse. You see an example of that up on the screen. Not much going on, but a quick night mode time lapse there. And we have Deep Fusion has come to the selfie cam. So Deep Fusion shots on that selfie camera. Overall, there's a huge number of differences between the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro. It's a big step up, and both of these are amazing phones, but the iPhone 12 Pro is just very special, and I know a lot of people are absolutely going to love it. So let me know what you guys think. What do you think of the new iPhone 12 Pro and how it compares to the iPhone 11 Pro? Let me know over on Twitter at Andrew_OSU, and stay tuned for a lot more iPhone coverage.